Hello YouTube, and welcome to Jonny Skywatcher Live. If you don't know who I am, this is my YouTube channel, this little box on the internet, where I like to talk about movies, TV, gaming, and whatever else I feel like. Let's see. So today, where was I going with that? I don't know. I totally lost my train of thought. If you haven't watched this before, I tend to be a little scatterbrained. You know, it would be helpful if I had, someone else to sort of pick up the pieces when I lose my train of thought. But I, unfortunately, am all alone. So I think we'll get to the first topic, I guess. So, Supergirl. Supergirl is going to end with the next season. So I believe it finished season 5, this last one, and then its upcoming season 6 has been announced. It's going to be the last one. Interesting. I don't know if it quite counts as a cancellation or if they sort of just came to an agreement to end it. So let's read. Supergirl will be taking her last flight. Aha, of course, because it's Supergirl, right? And she flies, so her last flight. Like the last season. Get it? The CW and producers Warner Bros. TV and Berlanti Productions just announced that the drama series starring Melissa Benoist. I always get thrown off by names. Like even though I'm pretty sure I've heard it pronounced. I'm like, how do you pronounce it? I don't know. Will conclude with the upcoming 6th season set for premiere on the CW in 2021. It is the second series from the CW's DC Arrowverse to come to an end following Arrow, which wrapped its 8-year run last season. Production on all 2020 to 2020 broadcast series was delayed by the coronavirus pandemic. Blah, blah, and of course it goes on. The series would initially be filming around Benoist, who would join the production later, I hear. Production delays. Creative team has started developing the stories for the final 20 episodes. So it's going to be a normal season. It's not going to be like a super shortened or anything like that. Order is expected to be longer than most broadcast series this coming season, including the CW scripted shows, which will be launching in January and beyond. And then it goes on. It debuted in 2015 on the CBS, which had one season on the CBS before coming over to CW. It talks a little bit about season 5. So yeah, this is interesting because I'm a little surprised that they're ending it early, given what they're doing. I gotta think this is partially motivated by the fact that they're making a Superman show, and I guess, they don't really need two super people when they have Superman. And it's this will be its 6th season, so it's not like they're canceling it super early. 6 seasons is a fine run. Usually I think they like to aim for more like 7 seasons, but I guess I gotta think that's part of the reason for that. And then I also am wondering if maybe I wonder if there's the possibility of the character moving over to the Superman show. Or at least she's got to show up in guest appearances somewhat. And the other thing that makes me really think about this is the fact that I really don't think Batwoman is going to get a season 3. I'm not rooting for the show to be bad or anything like that, but I don't think season 2 of Batwoman is going to do well, considering they're changing the main character, not just the actress, but the entire main character of the show, and then just trying to insert her into the same show with like all these supporting casts that are set up for this different character, and somehow they're gonna insert this new character that all these other characters who are like, many of them related to the Kane character. I mean, there's her father. Admittedly, I've never watched the show, but I have read about it. there's their father, and then I don't. I think her sister-in-law or something like that, and then her ex-girlfriend. All these people are connected to Kate Kane, and they're supposed to have. They're gonna build a show around those characters interacting with this totally new character who has nothing to do with Kate Kane. It sounds like a recipe for disaster, because honestly that's what shows do when they run way too long and get to their like 10th or 11th season, and by that time all the main characters, like the big three or whatever characters were on the show in the beginning, have already left. So they try to insert some new character to take over, and it never works out that well. I mean, sometimes, if the show's been running long enough, fans will kind of accept it, and it'll go on for one or two or maybe three more seasons, but it never works out that well. And it's always, and for it to be after the first season, it's just, I can't see it working out well. So I mean, I think that means, both Supergirl and Batwoman are going to be going off the air. We're going to be, Arrow's no longer there. And it seems like the whole Arrow spinoff of his daughter or whatever, Arrow and the Canaries or whatever they were going to call it, it seems like that's still in limbo. So what are we left with? We're left with The Flash, a Superman and Lois TV show, which admittedly sounds pretty cool. I haven't seen any footage or anything like that, but that sounds cool. And Legends of Tomorrow, as well as some of the other shows. I'm forgetting. Black Lightning. I think, has that gotten renewed? I don't know. And maybe Stargirl, because DC Universe is no longer really a thing when it comes to scripted shows, and they had already sort of sent Stargirl over to CW, so maybe if they do a second season, maybe that'll go to entirely CW instead of being shared with DC Universe, because DC Universe won't be a thing anymore. So I think maybe part of the reason they're canceling this is in the future, they don't really need Supergirl. Basically, they'll have Superman for like the super part, and then they'll have Stargirl for like the young superheroine part. And yeah, I just have to wonder, if this is a decision that was made for Supergirl, like was it canceled by the network, or is this a decision that the creators, the writers, and the star have come to with the network to end it after this next season? Who knows? I don't think it says anywhere in the article. I didn't read the entire thing. This is a post on Instagram by Melissa, where she says, "To say it has been an honor portraying this iconic character would be a massive understatement. Seeing this, the incredible impact the show has had on young girls around the world has always left me humbled and speechless. She's had that impact on me too. She's taught me strength I didn't know I had, to find hope in the darkest of places, and that we are stronger when we're united. What she stands for pushes all of us to be better. She has changed my life for the better, and I'm forever grateful." So more shake up when it comes to the CW shows. Do you think ending Supergirl now is a good decision? To be honest, when it comes to the last season, I actually liked the season 5. I watched it on Netflix, and I thought it was pretty good, especially compared to more recent seasons of The Flash, which I have not been on board with. I basically only watched on Netflix just to hate watch it and get through it, because The Flash has just been unfortunately, really downhill since the end of season 1. It started going downhill. Season 2 was still pretty good, but then like another speedster, and then season 3 was like really another speedster, and then you get to season 4, and it's just like, ugh, I don't care who was the bad guy in season 4. The Thinker, I think, or whatever. It wasn't done very well. And then season 5 was Cicada or whatever. Such an annoying villain. And then there was a whole thing with, because the father was Cicada, and then also daughter from the future, and I did not care. And then season 6, this last one, which got cut off, was actually a little bit better, but still, for the most part, I did not care. Supergirl, at least, I rewatched. I watched seasons 4 and 5 on Netflix because I did a binge in like April or May when I had a lot of time on my hands, and I think that show at least has done better. So maybe it's a good thing it's coming to end of season 6 before it starts really going downhill like The Flash. Anyway, what's your opinion on Supergirl? Do you think ending it early now is a good thing, or do you wish they had given it more seasons? Let me know in the comments below. And let's move on to the next item, which is apparently they're still making this Game of Thrones spinoff. Does anybody care? I don't know. But HBO president says House of the Dragon still on track for 2022. So this is a thing that's apparently still happening. HBO president Casey Bloys said that the network's Game of Thrones prequel series House of the Dragon is still in the works. Bloys confirmed in an interview after the 2020 Emmy Awards on Sunday that casting for the series is currently underway and the drama is still on track for a 2022 premiere. News that the show is still on track comes after it was reported in August that the show was searching for someone to portray Daemon Targaryen, the younger brother of King Viserys. So I guess this show is about the first Targaryens to come over. Or am I getting that wrong? I don't know. Let me see if it says. House of the Dragon is based on George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood, which was released in 2018 as a companion to his A Song of Ice and Fire book series. The prequel series will chronicle the rise and fall of the Targaryens, the only family of dragon lords to survive the Doom of Valyria, and will take place 300 years before the events in the Game of Thrones series. I think another spin-off series they were tossing around was the one that was going to take place way before Game of Thrones, like thousands of years before, with the long winter and stuff. And I guess they sort of abandoned that, it sounds like. Or maybe not, who knows. House of the Dragon, I should say. I don't really like the title. House of the Dragon. It should be House of Dragons, but that's just me. Was greenlit in early 2020 after HBO decided not to move forward with another Game of Thrones prequel from Jane Goodman that was set to star Naomi Watts. So yes, interesting. This is still happening. It could be good. I know a lot of people are still sort of upset with Game of Thrones season 8. I was definitely disappointed by it. I have to say, maybe not to the same extent that other people were. I wasn't as furious about it because I never thought Game of Thrones was that great to begin with. I did really like it, and the way I approached Game of Thrones wasn't just watching the series. So I started reading the books, and then once I caught up with the books and they weren't going any further, and the TV series started going past the books, that's when I jumped on. So I think I watched this season. I started with the season after Jon Snow got stabbed, which was season 5, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, when I was actually shown Game of Thrones, the pilot, and before I read the books, and I was just not interested at all. And even after that, after I read the first book, I tried watching the series. I'm not a fan of like the first season or most of that stuff. But I did like whatever season that was that I watched, that had the Battle of the Bastards. And then I think the next season 7, I want to say, getting kind of wacky with some things. And then season 8 is when they really went off the rails. But when it comes to this spin-off series, this isn't involving the people who are pretty much usually blamed by fans for season 8 being really bad, which is the showrunners can't remember their names at the moment. This is going to be involving different showrunners entirely, so maybe this has a better chance of being better. And plus, I mean, the one problem with Game of Thrones was they started off working from material, from the books and adapting that, and then at a certain point they caught up, and then they had to make it up from there. Now this series isn't really working from materials. It's saying it's based off uh, the book Fire and Blood, which I believe is not, it's not a narrative format of book. It's kind of just telling the history. And I doubt this series is going to be so drastically different from Game of Thrones and just told in like an anthology style, like throughout the 300 years, which I think would be interesting, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think this is going to be probably more traditionally like Game of Thrones storytelling. It's just going to take place 300 years before. So we'll have to see what that turns out to be. It could be good, You have sort of a good plot point to start with. Basically, the Targaryens invading Westeros and sort of the wars that caused. I don't think we know necessarily that much about the people there before. I mean, we know like basically they came in and conquered all the houses that we know about. So you have that sort of structure. I think could work really well as a prequel series, because you can introduce new characters, but at the same time they're familiar because you'll have House Stark, but it's going to be some other Stark that we never heard of before. You have the Lannisters, you have these big houses that would have been around back then, and then they got conquered. So yes, that's something that could be very interesting. It could also be very uninteresting. We'll just have to see. And with that out of the way, I think let's move on to my last and final topic, which is going to be, I didn't have much to talk today. I saw this, though. I thought it was kind of interesting. Attack on Titan final season. So this I'm excited for. Attack on Titan, I believe it's going to be its 4th season, and they're going to end the series, which is good, because some anime I watch goes on way too long until like it's just nobody cares anymore. So yes, they released some new key art and I believe a new trailer, and it looks awesome. I'm there for it. I think they say later this year, which is interesting. Well, it'll start later this year. So yeah, I'm excited for it. There's this really cool poster, final season. I don't think they say how many episodes it's going to be. And then they also have this trailer, which I'll just play in the background. But yeah, this is not something I even have that much to talk about. I'm just expressing how much I'm looking forward to this. Attack on Titan final season sub and dub coming to Funimation. And they're the same people who've been having the other seasons, so it's not necessarily new news that they're coming to Funimation. Attack on Titan's final season is shaping up to be the most action-packed yet. And yeah, they kind of go into more details. Anyway, I didn't really have much to say about that, but it looks really cool. I'm excited for it, and I'm definitely interested to see sort of some of the story that I know about, but I don't really know a whole lot about, because we got a lot of information in the last season that kind of finally answered some of the mysteries of what the heck is going on with this world. And now now that we discovered that, this whole sort of world that we've been dealing with these, I think, past 3 seasons is just this island, and then there's this whole other world they were basically exiled from. So it's going to be interesting to go to that world and see these new characters and see this conflict that arises because of it. Anyway, what are you interested in Attack on Titan? Let me know. Are you excited for, if you are you excited for this new season? Are you sad that it's going to come to an end? Let me know in the comments below. And I think that's going to be it for me today. If you are watching to the end of this video, thank you so much just for watching. Also, if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead, click that subscribe button. You know, click that like button. Type in a comment that says, I don't know, YouTube. Type in YouTube, please recommend this video to more people. I don't know. And then also go to your email and send this to every one of your contacts. And then go to the library and get the link, and then print out as many sheets as you possibly can, and then just go door to door handing it out to people. No, you can just like, comment, subscribe. I've been thinking I need to make a video of that where I just go on and on about how all these things that I'm asking my viewers to do. Whatever. Yeah, but feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. And I didn't have it. I didn't have the thing queued up. That didn't happen. Take two. I will see you in the next video. Bye.